Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Take. I'm Michael Scott, and boy, do I have a great show lined up for you guys today. Eagles GM Howie Roseman appeared on Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio the other day and discussed the Eagles' decision to draft Jalen Hurts. He said, "We want to have two of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league." So we're going to touch base on that today. We're going to dive right in. Let's get it going, baby. So Howie Roseman, general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, defended Carson Wentz and the team's decision to draft Oklahoma quarterback Jalen Hurts last weekend with the 53rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft while speaking with Pro Football Talk on Tuesday. According to Mike Florio of PFT, Roseman had a lot to say about the matter. We're going to take a listen right here.
What the hell? They just paid Carson Wentz. Are they trying to supplant Carson Wentz with Jalen Hurts? Do you think that influenced it, the fact that we were still kind of reeling?
I had never thought about it that way. Maybe because I was just in the vacuum, like I was just kind of going around and around. But listen, I could look you, I could look him, I could look anyone in the eye, hopefully face to face at some point soon, and tell you we love Carson Wentz, and we've shown it with our actions. We showed it when we traded everything to go and get him. We showed it when we went and paid him on that contract. And it's not like we're trying to get out of that contract. Like, we're committed to that. But we're trying to build a football team that has incredible depth, that we have this value of this backup quarterback position. Jeffrey said, we want to have two of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. That's our goal. That's what we're trying to do.
Roseman also went on to say, "I love Carson Wentz, man. I love Carson Wentz, and I love going to bed at night, putting my head on the pillow knowing that we have a strong quarterback room. That, to me, makes me sleep better." So let's take a step back here for a second and let's look at this entire picture, right? So the Eagles have drafted Jalen Hurts, envisioning him as a Taysom Hill-like player for the team. They feel that he can be successful in that role. Taysom Hill's skill set has allowed him to excel in a multitude of roles for the New Orleans Saints, while possibly being groomed to be the heir apparent to Drew Brees in New Orleans, who seems poised to enter the broadcast booth following the season. At times, Hill's been used as a returner, a receiver, a running back, and he's also been used as a passer. Now, the Eagles specifically envision a similar role for Hurts because of his dynamic skill set. He's a winning, dual-threat quarterback. That role is becoming increasingly popular because of the recent success of guys like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson throughout the league, who both have the ability to move in and out of the pocket to extend plays and drives when things break down. Even the Green Bay Packers seem poised to make that transition after drafting Jordan Love late in the first round in the same draft last weekend. Hurts is versatile, and he has proven that he's capable of picking up different playbooks and having success. Now, when you think of Hurts, he's the opposite of Wentz. He's proven to be tough and durable while possessing the strength of a decorated power lifter. Also, he possesses incredible leadership qualities, which at times those same traits have come into question regarding Wentz. Now, Roseman and head coach Doug Peterson want to build depth at the quarterback position. Wentz hasn't been a reliable starter throughout his career. He's missed 8 games in 4 seasons while dealing with significant injuries, and most recently was knocked out of the Eagles' NFC wildcard game on a big hit by Jadeveon Clowney. Now, this is something Roseman referenced has been plaguing the franchise dating back to the early 2000s when they had to play a multitude of games, including some in the playoffs, without their starter at the time, Donovan McNabb. Now, Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, has never missed a game because of injury in college, and he's an incredible 38-4 as a starter between his time at Alabama and his time as the Oklahoma starting quarterback. Now, as far as reliable backups go and depth is concerned for the Eagles, Nick Foles filled this role adequately in the past, and the Eagles actually wound up winning a Super Bowl during his stint with the team after an injury ended Wentz's season. But here's the thing. If you dive deeper into the picture and you look behind the veil, and Howie Roseman lets you peek in and see what's behind the curtain, what you realize is that the Eagles organization is feeling that there are some doubts about the long-term health of Wentz and his ability to stay healthy. According to SportsInjuryPredictor.com, Wentz is a medium-risk quarterback with a 39.8% chance of being injured in the upcoming 2020 season. Again, the Eagles have serious doubts that Wentz can remain healthy in the long run. Sometimes you think he's tough, and other times he's proven to be very brittle. And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles or you're Carson Wentz, one thing you have to understand is that actions speak louder than words. So what I mean by that is Roseman and Peterson's decision to draft Jalen Hurts 53rd overall definitely raises some eyebrows. And it raises the question, why else would you draft a quarterback in the second round after your franchise guy just played his first full season since his rookie year and had a career year? Obviously, production supersedes risk, and the body of work does not lie. Look at Wentz's contract. He signed an extension that went into effect in 2019. That extension was for 4 years, $128 million, and guaranteed him nearly $108 million. Now, the Eagles have a potential out in 2022. Now, Roseman suggested on Pro Football Talk that this was not the team's intention. However, what it is for this Eagles team is an option. That potential out in 2022 would culminate with Carson Wentz being paid 3 years at $81 million and leave the team with $24 million, a little bit over that, in dead cap money. Now, you're saying, Mike, why would the Eagles want $24 million in dead cap money if they were to cut or part ways with Carson Wentz? Well, here's the thing. Paying 3 years at $81 million is a lot better than playing 4 years at over $130 million. So you catch my drift here and what exactly is going on? The team basically looks at Wentz as a 50-50 shot of staying healthy or getting hurt. And in the event that he gets hurt again significantly, those risks financially are way too steep. And you don't want to continue that investment. Now let's look at Carson Wentz's injury report, right? So we have tape going back to 2015 on him. Before he ever entered the NFL, he had an injury. He broke a bone in his throwing wrist that ultimately required surgery. Now let's transition to 2016 when he enters the NFL. He played all the games during his rookie year, but he actually had a hairline fracture in his ribs that he suffered against Tampa Bay in 2016 as a rookie. Transgressing into 2017, that's when we see our first major significant injury for Carson Wentz, right? Because this guy's a football player. Obviously, he's going to get a little banged up. But what happened in 2017 is he's in the second quarter of a game in week 3, and he tears his ACL. I'm sorry, not week 3. But he tears his ACL, right? And it keeps him out until week 3 of the 2018 season, right? So 2017, he misses the Eagles' Super Bowl run. Torn ACL, they're out, right? So then he comes back in week 3 the following year, and in 2018, he misses the final 3 games of the year, so a total of 5 games in 2018 because he fractures a vertebrae in his back. Last year in 2019, he played the entire season. He did a fantastic job. Looking at his resume total, he's 32-24 as a starter for the Eagles. However, he has no playoff wins and has only played in one Pro Bowl. The Super Bowl that the Eagles won, that's obviously going to have credit given to Foles, not Wentz, because Wentz didn't even play in the game. Last year in 2019, Wentz had his best year of his career. He crossed 4,000 yards for the first time, completing 64% of his passes. He threw 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, en route to a 9-7 record that landed the Eagles in the playoffs. Now, he was actually knocked out of that playoff game on a big hit, obviously, by Jadeveon Clowney, and again, the Eagles found themselves staring down, destiny with no quarterback to lead them forward besides a backup. So you really got to ask yourself, is this guy, Carson Wentz, worth the pesos? Now, here's the verdict. Wentz is an extremely talented quarterback whose statistical performance suggests he has a bright future ahead of him. However, he's injury prone. The Eagles cannot afford Wentz's roller coaster-like health ride. With the potential out in 2022, Hurts has essentially been drafted as not only a depth-building backup in the event Wentz suffers another injury, but as a possible successor that has the potential himself to develop into a franchise quarterback and a leader for Philadelphia. Wentz's body and contract are going to be his biggest adversaries moving forward. Hurts will be well-liked and waiting when Wentz's body fails him. Meanwhile, that contract has the potential to cripple the Eagles for years to come. The investment that extended Wentz so early on was premature to say the least. And Roseman just purchased himself and head coach Doug Peterson insurance at the price of just $6 million over the next 4 years, which is far below the $100 million guaranteed that Wentz will receive by the time this contract expires after the 2024 season. I recommend that Wentz drinks his milk and says his prayers because the Eagles franchise seems destined to win at all costs and will likely hand the keys to Hurts full time after 2022 if he produces in the event Wentz misses more significant time. Roseman is taking the politically correct approach, but at the same time, it's obvious the franchise has mixed feelings about Wentz's future as the Eagles' franchise quarterback. You're not feeling warm and fuzzy when you think of Wentz. The team cringes and feels uncertain anytime this guy takes a big hit. That's all I've got for today. You've been listening to Final Take. I'm Michael Scott.